What's up, family? Okay, here's my top 10 disappointing teams for the NBA for the 2022-23 season from 5 East, 5 West. Okay, the first team is the Miami Heat, who will be in the second round against New York Knicks this upcoming Sunday. Um, their record was 44-38. Last year, they were the number one seed in the Eastern Conference and took the eventual Eastern Conference champion Celtics to 7 games. This season, they were disappointing on offense by being 30th on points per game and 29th on pace. The bright spot was Bam Adebayo, who became an All Star for the second time of his career, and as well Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero will average 20 points this season for the Miami Heat. Um, by the way, shout out to Bio. He's from Jersey, so I gotta give Jersey Hoopers love. Now, the Chicago second team, the Chicago Bulls, uh, they were they missed the playoffs. They last year they were the sixth seed, but it was eliminated by the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. They were 22nd on offense and 19th in pace. Lonzo Ball missed over a year due to an injury. Hopefully he get well soon, and hopefully he would have a longer season, longer career. The bright spot was DeMar DeRozan, who was an All Star for the eighth time of his career, and he and Levine averaged over 24 points a game. The Toronto Raptors, um, it they recently just let go of their coach Nick Nurse, who took them to the championship back in 2019. Last year they were fifth in the East, but was eliminated by the Philadelphia 76ers in 6 games. Um, this season they were one of the worst offensive teams by being 28th, as well as Pacing as 26th. The bright spot was Pascal Siakam, who was an All Star for the second time of his career. The Atlanta Hawks. They just yesterday they were just eliminated by the Boston Celtics in 6 games. But last year they were the seventh seed, like they did this year, but they were eliminated in 5 games by the Miami Heat. This season, overall, they were not good defensive team. They were 26, and they were 20th on pace in the NBA. They fired Nate McMillan just almost 60 games into the season. But they managed to make the playoffs despite coaching change. The current new coach is Quinn Snyder, who coached the Jazz from 2014 to 2022. Trey Young was the only bright spot of that team. He was averaging 26 points and dished out 10 assists. And no, he's not overrated. The Detroit Pistons, they had one of the worst record. They had one of the worst records in the NBA. They were fifth. They won 17 games. That's last in the Eastern Conference. They were terrible on defense. 29. Yeah, I'm sorry. They were terrible on defense and offense. 29th when it comes to points per game, and 27 when they give up points per game. They also were 15 in pace. The Unfortunately, Dwayne Casey was let go after 5 years. They'll get a new coach soon. Only the bright spot was Jalen Ivey, who was averaging 60 points a game, the rookie from Purdue. Now let's get to the West Side. Okay, the Minnesota Timberwolves. They just recently got eliminated by the Denver Nuggets on Wednesday. Um, they were the eighth seed this year. Last year they were the seventh seed. They were defeated by the Memphis Grizzlies in 6 games of the first round quarterfinals. Their defense was not good, 18th in the NBA. They made a big trade last offseason by adding Rudy Gobert, who was a multiple defensive player of the year, but he didn't contribute on the offense. Carl Anthony Towns missed most of the season due to an injury, and the only bright spot was Anthony Edwards, who became an All Star this season. The Portland Trailblazers, this year they were 33 and 49. They start the season 4-0. They haven't made the playoffs for the last 2 years. They were 23rd on defense. The bright spot was basically Damian Lillard became an all-star. And they're all, if I think for the fifth or I think sixth or seventh time, who averaged at least 30 points and dished out 7 assists. Damian Lillard will be a Hall of Famer in my honest opinion. He's been in the league for 11 years, all of it with the Blazers, but unfortunately, his team has not could have not having been in a contender, have not been able to build a contender outside that year in 2019 when they went to the conference finals. I love D Lillard, but in my honest opinion, I think he should leave Portland. But anyway, let's go to the Golden State Warriors. They will go to the second round by beating Sacramento on Friday. It depends if Sacramento have something to say about that. Sacramento will be my next video. Where I'm going to talk about my top 10 surprising team in the NBA. Let's go back to the Warriors. The defending champions this season, they won 44 and 36. That's 6 in the West. Of that, last year they won their 4th championship in the last 8 years by beating the Boston Celtics. Their defense, where they're known for, has been took a deep decline by 21 in the NBA, and they had one of the worst records on the road by winning 11 out of 30. It's amazing that they made the playoffs even despite their road record. Only the bright spot, in my honest opinion, is Jordan Poole averaged 20 points a game, a big improvement for the 4th-year pro out of Michigan, and that's what I can say about the Warriors. The Dallas Mavericks, we get into Texas now style. They were 11 in the Western Conference, 14 games less than last year. Last year they were 4th in the West and got to the conference finals. This season, their defense has been terrible, 6th team in the NBA. But last year, they were a very good defensive team. They were 2 in the NBA in defense. They made a huge trade by adding Kyrie Irving to the team. Keep that in mind. Before Kyrie arrived, they were the 4th seed, even though the record was mediocre at that time. But they kind of regressed after that. They ended up winning 38 games, and they were out of the playoff picture towards the end of the season. The only bright spot is Luka Doncic became an all-star for the 3rd time in his career, and he was averaging 38 in a season. Who knows what's going on in Dallas? My last team is Houston Rockets. They just recently had their new head coach, Ime Udoka, who last year he coached the Celtics and got them to the NBA Finals. But the Rockets this season, they have been terrible. They were 15th and they were one of the worst teams in the NBA. They won 22 games. They were basically terrible on offense and defense, 28th respectively in both defense and offense, 28th. The only bright spot is the development of Draymond Green, Michael Porter Jr., and number 3 Jabari Smith Jr. And hopefully that Ime Udoka will bring a winning culture back to the Houston Rockets. But there you have it. There are my top disappointing teams for the NBA for the 2022-23 season. If you like it, please please feel free to comment on it. I'll give you more videos coming up soon. Thank you. Peace. Bye.